what it's always going to be. That's not a criticism, that's just a fact. Now let's transition to the fight we have in front of us. How many of you care? If you care, raise your hand. Just if you care. Because our theme is Cleveland, a return to excellence. If you look at those letters in the acronym, it says care. And nobody really cares. You care. You are going to be the difference between this city becoming a city of haves and have-nots, and this city being returned to a city where everybody has an opportunity. Everybody's child has a chance. Last week, a letter was written. Normally, they're talking about it. A letter was written, signed by 45 people. 45 prominent people. He may have mentioned only one of those people even live in the city of Cleveland. In fact, the first name on the letter is a guy named Warren Anderson. Proud of his accomplishment. Not holding that against him. You know where he lives? He lives in Aurora, on the 14th hole of the Barrington Country Club. His business is in Kent. And he's telling you that the mayor is a great mayor. The second signer was somebody from the education. He said that the mayor's success, his leadership has led to the following success with our school system. On the same day, the state released a report. You know what the report said? The Cleveland schools had failed for the 9th consecutive year every state standard. There are 24 state standards. You know how many Cleveland school children passed? Not just children. You know how many Cleveland schools passed? No. Zero. Zero. Whoever wrote that letter is either blind, deaf, or dumb. But the fact of the matter is that these are the people who've been running your city. Let me tell you something real quick. Those 45 people have a vested interest, and they're going to protect their interests. And it has nothing to do with you. It has zero to do with you. These people are fine. Their most difficult decision is choosing between lobster and filet mignon. But these are the people that are telling you that your efforts to change the government are a waste of time. Now, it is a waste of time for them because they're happy. They're fine. You know what? It took me a few extra minutes. I came down Mount Carmel. You know what I mean? I had to drive like this.
Yeah. I know it.
You all know. You mess around here and have a head-on collision because no one is taking care of your streets. And they're going to tell you, the weather caused this. This is a 4-year problem. The mayor's been mayor for 9 years. 9 years.
Oh, God, that's too long.
When is the last time he saw one of your problems? The question is, that you got to answer is, does this administration, is it going to protect your interests? Now, if you live where I live, downtown, you happy. You got police protection, you got restaurants, you're happy. But if you live where my mama lives on 131st and Quebec, you got another issue. And the majority of our people do not live down. 12,500 people live downtown. That means out of the 370,000, 380,000 people, the rest of us live outside of downtown. How many of you got school children? Or grandchildren in school? Your children deserve a chance. If you don't look out for them, who's going to look out for them?
That's right.
See, take this thing personally. Let's stop, because we speak in these general terms. There's a young lady back there. Her mother's probably taking care of her, make sure she got her in the school, that she can look out for them. You got to watch out for them. Most of our kids don't have that chance. Most of them don't have that chance. Think about it. When you send your children out, or your grandmother goes out, they can't walk the street safely. You know why? Because the mayor's management plan is shot in the head. He has the worst management plan, deployment plan, and it's creating tension between the police and the community. The crime we have in our community, how are we going to solve it? If the police and the citizens are at war with each other because the mayor's management plan pits people against each other. We can't operate that way. We have to send a message downtown. They get the message. You know how many editorials have been written on the thought of recall? Not the fact of recall, just the thought of recall. There have been 5 editorials written about this thing and it hasn't even started yet. Now just think about the impact when it starts. Now you're going to get some calls. People going to call you. They're going to say, Ada, you know it's not a good idea for us to have recalls, make the city look bad. I think 4 dead children make the city look bad.
Amen.
I think 600 violations of your constitutional rights make the city look bad. about it. Tomorrow, I'm going to get the rules from City Council on the recall. There's certain rules you got to follow. You got to be very specific. We get the rules. I talked to Patrick today. She's supposed to email them to me today, but the lawyer wasn't available. So they're going to email the rules to me tomorrow. We have the rules, specific rules, according to the city charter, as what the recall specifically involves. Now, what do we need in order to pull this thing off? And this is where you come in. Michael White, when he ran for mayor the first time, we didn't have a single professional in our campaign organization. Because all of them was with our board. We all friends. George is a friend of mine. All professionals were meeting over here at Vales that no longer exist. That's what all of the professionals were. They was Benny Bonanno, they was George Ford, they was one of the other candidates. We had us, the little group, and our first professional was Tom introduced. He came on late. Alan Shatteen was the PR man. He don't know about no PR. We just had a group of people just like you. And that's when we put this, how we put that campaign together. Where you come in is we're going to need each one of you to be ward captain. How many live in Ward 1? Anybody live in Ward 1? Raise your hand. Let's be hard. Who knows? Who lives in Ward 1? You know your ward? You got Ward 1. Who lives in Ward 2? Who lives in Ward 2? What about 3? Zach Reed's ward. Who lives out there? Ken Johnson's ward. Who lives up there up the hill? What you're going to have to do, folks, you're going to have to find out what ward you're in. We want to assign you. You have to be the ward captain. And your responsibility is going to be to identify 10 other people in your community so we go for these signatures. The Norm's got some other signature people. But we want to turn this community around. We want to make you, people keep talking about who's going to be the next mayor. You recall that. We don't need to pre-qualify. You can be, the qualification to be mayor is alive. Let me repeat that, you missed that. Chief qualification for you to be mayor or councilman or precinct committee person is to be alive and over 18 years old. Now, how many of you are alive and over 18 years old? You are now qualified. And the problem we've been having is we've been pre-qualifying people. And it hasn't helped us. This is broke, schools just as tore up, streets just as messed up. And we said, well, you got the right suit on, he speaks good English, she has the right dress skirt, hair looks nice. That's not how you choose a mayor. You choose a mayor based on their commitment to community and what they're going to do about it. We've chosen every mayor we've had based on how they look and how they sound. And whether we know them or not. Well, we've known every mayor. People go to campaigns and say, we don't really know that person. So they vote for the person they know, and what do they get? The person they know. So you are as qualified as anybody else to hold office in this town. There's nothing felons can hold office. You are qualified to be an office holder. Okay? So let's put that aside. So let's don't worry about who's going to become the next mayor. It could be one of you.